So the rumor is we are live. Are we live? Looks like we are. All right, awesome. Let's go back to the one-man mode. Hello, everybody. This is the Combot Collective. We're back here again. I don't know how much time we have, but we're doing our third stream. And look at that. We actually started right on time like we were talking about. We got some topics to talk about here today. Or I should say during this stream. I do apologize. And, 12-pound classes started, 30-pound classes started. I was going on. The Robot Rebellion event happening in England has wrapped up for today. We're going to be talking more about it tomorrow. But I do want to give a shout out to my buddy MRBK. He is in the TCC Discord server, which we're showing right now on the screen right here. If you want to join the Discord server, our social media for it is in the top right of the corner screen there. But if you want to join our Instagram and Facebook, or follow our Instagram and Facebook, I should say, sorry. Those URLs are also right there on the screen. Thank you all for coming back for more amidst the Havoc here. It's been a pretty crazy Norwalk Havoc so far as we look at this bracket here. We got some topics to talk about here, and right now, it's been kind of a crazy day for the Melty Brains. What about the greatest challenge and the greatest danger, everybody? Two badass Melty Brains. I was talking to Lily from TransRice Robotics during the one of their matches, asking what the difference between these two robots were, and apparently it's like a difference in software, and I think that's a very fascinating thing about Melty Brains. We were all talking about it in the TCC chat, just looking at how the Melty Brains work, and it's also about the CPU system that you're using with a robot like that. So apparently, the greatest challenge spins up a little bit slower from what I understand, as okay, yeah, I just want to make sure we're not running over Norwalk's toes here, but I am very interested to see how far these robots go. Greatest challenge is going to be taking on Blackbird next. That's another robot that we have seen absolutely rocket. In fact, that matchup against Wormhole, Blackbird sealing Wormhole 3 times during the matchup. Absolutely insane to see that match go down. And look at that. People are starting to rally in here. Sup, Rogers Robotics. Saw that you were watching the events going down too. Glad to have you here again. But yeah, Blackbird stealing Wormhole 3 times during that matchup. Wormhole was definitely in bad shape. Not as bad of a shape as it was after the mixed tag matchup. But it really is going to be a great challenge for Blackbird. Winner of that, of course, is going to take on Crashfest and Twin Beast. Twin Beast, very smart design. The 2 weapons, 2 motors, so if one goes down, robot still runs fine. They've easily carried their momentum from yeah. Crack open this Buble here. Side topic here. What's up with the Liquid Deaths on the stream? You guys notice that? Everyone's wearing a Liquid Death. This brand new driver, what was his name? Carl Masterson or something, that had this alternate side robot. He had a Liquid Death shirt. There's definitely some sort of promotion going on. They used to all have the Buble cans. I feel like I'm getting left out here. I think I got a 7-Eleven literally a block away. I think between matches, I might just get on my scooter and pick up some Liquid Death. If it's at the store, I would be all about it. But getting off topic here, Twin Beast versus Crashfest. That's going to be a good match. Crashfest has really impressed so far. I didn't think they were going to keep the momentum like they have, but they easily took out Cutting Board. Cutting Board, a very fascinating robot. They got a huge upset win in the losers bracket, but we'll get back to that probably later on in the stream or maybe next stream. But we also have Crashfest versus Greatest Danger here, and this is where the Greatest Danger, Greatest Challenge both start showing a little bit of their weakness, a little bit of their kryptonite here. Taking on a pure plow robot like Crashfest, they just couldn't figure out an answer to it. This Tonka truck looking robot in Crashfest, it absolutely wows me with every matchup. We saw them take out the South Dakota State University poker bot and Stabia match, and it's easy to just not really think about it much when you're just looking at it take on bots like that, but the prestige of the opponent just keeps on getting better and better. And Cutting Board, competent robot, apparently had good pushing power. We saw it when it took on HypeTrain later on, the losers bracket. That was on the Cage 5 stream. But now they're going to be taking on Twin Beast. That's going to be a real test, but, AGVS and Reobots combined, they have lost 1 match so far during this stream. It's been kind of crazy. I think Crashfest is going to make that a second loss. Let's move around here, though, a little bit. Sombra, Inside Job. I think Inside Job is finally going to get stopped here. Was very impressed, though, with the Inside Job Jack Move match. That was a blast of a match. Inside Job really had full control of Jack Move. And that Jack in the Box attachment, the Jack Move was running. Very creative. If they could, zip tied together the corners to stop the seams from being so open, they might have had a chance there. but some fantastic driving by Joe Fabiani during that matchup. So he's now into an undefeated round 4 against Sombra. We're going to see how that goes. Sombra's really trying to get that finals position. Adrift and Red Hawk, 2 red robots. I don't think anyone expected going this far, you know, with robots like Sea Dragon's Roar, ER Stingray, Shred It Bro, all in this group up. We got Adrift and Red Hawk. I believe this is a pair of horizontal spinners right here. That's going to be a bit of a toss-up. Let's go back to the top of the bracket here, though. Wasabi and Eruption. That's a proper vertical spinner versus vertical spinner dream match. Eruption, a number 5 ranked NHRL Beat-O-Weight. Wasabi already in the finals. I mean, I haven't seen too much of Eruption this year, but I would definitely have to lean towards Wasabi for that event. I've been very impressed with Wasabi and their driver so far. This event so far, I should say. My apologies. Opened up the Buble can, never even... I should say, pulled up the Buble can, never even opened it up. There we go. That's a relief. Jackrabbit Sepio 1 is another matchup we have here. Team What's Up Danger and WPI, 2 Norwalk regulars meeting up in an undefeated round 4. I think I have to lean towards Jackrabbit. I mean, here's the interesting one. This is one I'm really eyeballing here. Saved it for last for a reason. Mini Toro versus Dread Hades. It's pretty much Team Hardcore Robotics versus Team Robots all over again. It's almost a 2018 rematch, except we have Doom Kid behind the wheel of Dread Hades now. Of course, if you know Doom Kid, Robot Combat Prodigy. We've seen him in BattleBots. We're going to see him during BattleBots Champions, hopefully losing to Sub-Zero. No, nothing personal. I got to see Sub-Zero win. But they made the playoffs during 2020. They've always been a prodigy of the sport, and I mean, they've gone to BoogleBots before, had success there. They're a solid robot, and he's a solid kid. And, of course, Mini Toro. What is there more to say? We have seen them have a little bit of gremlins during the Amen break and underbite matchup, but against these vertical spinners, Mini Toro has been able to hold up so far. Still no clue who that driver is for Riobots there, but it was really nice to hear Marco Megalario being interviewed on the Norwalk Havoc Instagram page. They posted a video of a snippet of an interview there if you want to look at that. But he was also appearing on the Norwalk Havoc stream. He seems so excited to be there. He legit said that, you know, these are some of the best Beetleweights in the world right now, and it's hard to disagree with what we've seen so far today. And he said that if you want to get far in this event, it's going to be tougher than BattleBots. So maybe not monetarily, but, you know, making that daily hustle. You know, he definitely has a point there. We'll go to the bottom bracket here, the losers bracket, real quick before we hop this to some other competitions here. I definitely want to take a look at Robotica before we go back. Hopefully we can do that before NHRL cuts us off here. We do have some interesting matchups, though. Tothic versus Caldera. That's another battle of 2 pure NHRL regulars there. I was really hoping we'd see Mechanical Advantage versus Caldera. Speaking of that, I completely forgot that matchup. Mechanical Advantage versus Voxel. I mean, this is very fascinating because Voxel is really the most Mechanical Advantage-esque robot of the whole bunch here. And so it's really going to be almost a mirror matchup. We got these 2 all-black robots meeting up here. Oh man, I think they're going to go back here in a second, so maybe we should cut the talk here pretty quick. 2 all-black robots, very similar style weaponry. Okay, no, we got more time. Meeting up here. I think this is truly, we keep saying it with each robot that Mechanical Advantage faces here, especially with starting with Tothic last match. It's going to be a greater and greater challenge for Mechanical Advantage to keep that winning streak. 23-0 now, 17 knockouts. It's pretty insane. They've taken Voxel V1, and it's no Voxel V2. And these guys have had a little bit of trouble. They haven't been able to make it over that finals peak just yet this year. We'll have to see how this goes here. There's a lot more than finals pride in the line with that matchup. But let's go back to that losers bracket real quick. Nothing else really standing out here. Off Kilter versus Fallout is going to be pretty interesting. I'm glad that we're going to maybe see another match with Cutting Board. I'm really surprised that they took out HypeTrain. And speaking of that, let's talk about some of these other robots. Of course, we didn't have them on. We had them on, but we're going to have them on later on, maybe tonight. Fillibuster and Team Chaotic Robotics. They were trying to talk about their robot. And since then, they have faced Hive Smash, and I watched the matchup. Unfortunately, Hive Smash and a very solid robot. They got outplayed there, but it looks like Caldera did manage to beat them. And our other robot, Death by a Hit, they did actually end up getting to face Sombra. And, of course, Sombra made quick work of them. They would go on to face... where is it? It's buried in here. Here we go. Took on Radix, one of the horizontal spinners that was fighting to have a chance against Mini Toro. I keep wanting to say Mini Tor. Death by the head. Unfortunately, lost that match by knockout. The entire weapon assembly taken out of the robot. It was pretty insane. But let's quickly go through this 12-pound bracket. It's been talked about a lot during the NHRL live stream. Team Defective has been in the house this whole event with a lot of these robots. Very fascinating what happened with Manufacturer Recall, though, huh? With the airbag. I love these crazy weapons when someone busts out a crazy weapon like an airbag. In fact, you want to go back all the way to Crash Test Dummy, BattleBots 3.0 days, heavyweight. That robot was trying to use airbags as a weapon. And we have seen some other uses in the past. I believe someone in the TCC chat mentions they believe Kraken used the airbag in a past design. And if you remember, part of my French's mini-bots, which I can't remember the name of now. I hate that I can't. They also use the airbag-style lifter, which can lift a surprising amount. I think like 100 pounds. But, taking a sip here. It worked. It worked. It kind of worked. I guess you could say it worked. Didn't flip Promheta. Fired off late. One of the commentators even mentioned that it might have fired off due to Promheta's attack. But anyway, Promheta and Manufacturer Recall just sort of drove around a little bit after that incident. And eventually Promheta would eventually drive right into the airbag during an impact, trying to attack Manufacturer Recall. Airbag wound up into Promheta's weapon. Some people were giving him some slack, but I can see it. I honestly wouldn't have had the foresight either. That would probably tangle a weapon up. I would have thought, excuse me, it would have been thick enough. But that's what happens. Promheta got it tangled up, but luckily, they are still in the winner's bracket. Crunk wasn't so lucky. Jameson Goes really showed up with Psycho and Attrition. Attrition, a very old school robot. They mentioned it a lot on commentary. Beat Alex Wang pretty convincingly. Lost to Carmen. Carmen and our one defective robots. They're going to be taking on Busy Bee next. But really, with all these robots, of course, Psycho defeating Crunk. Upset there. Crunk had some trouble against Blue Cheese, but would come back. Yobnal knocked out by, oh, here we go. Big story of the 12-pound class here is Ramplant. Pretty easy to see it. And beat Otis of Drum Spinner in the very first matchup in the qualifying round. And commentary was building this bot up all the way before its matchup. We've seen it compete plenty of times before in the 12-pound sportsman class. This robot said, screw it, we're making the jump. I've seen this guy on Discord before, great dude. And Ramplant here defeated Otis by judge's decision. Really just a master class of driving. The guy behind the bot knows how to drive his robot. All over the arena, into the wall, had him pinned a couple times, forced the unstick, and then used that lance. Had a little bit of trouble at first because it kind of used the lance as just sort of a lifter, but eventually he did figure it out and use that lance, kind of get right into those wheel shafts of Otis. Even it to Yobnal as well in this next coming match that we're going to talk about in a second. And beat Otis, but Yobnal, that's really the big match of the 12-pound class everyone's talking about. And it's unfortunate. That's just what comes in robot combat here. Yobnal was definitely not running at 100% in this debut match it had for this first match it had during this July event. Ramplan would take advantage of this. No weapon on Yobnal, and I think its drive might have been a little wonky too. But Ramplan went right in there, same strategy, flipped Yobnal over, shoved that lance right into all the bad places. That didn't sound right. I digress. And dominated the matchup. Actually got a tap out. With less than a minute to go. So Ramplan technically beat the defending champion here by knockout. Went on to take on a very heavy robot in Smeezus. We've seen Smeezus before. Very creatively driven robot by the very creative man, Joe Fabiani. Big weight advantage on this robot. I believe Smeezus is 45 pounds. Might be incorrect. But Ramplan tossed it over again and again. Won the judge's decision. And now it's all the way in the undefeated semifinals. Very, very good chance we're going to see this robot get into the 2022 finals if it keeps this up. But it's going to be taking on Psycho, who has been as red hot. Victory over Kronk and Sombra, 12-pounder. Two robots that have already qualified for the finals. Jameson Go has brought this brand new vertical spinner in to go with the old school vertical spinner. Great combo of new and old, and it has really succeeded so far, I believe. We might, it's going to be hard for Attrition. They're taking on Otis next. Otis is a very up and down kind of bot. Looked like it had potential against Ramplan. Eked it out against Killajoule, but here it sits against Attrition. I can imagine. I think Attrition's probably going to win this, and then Attrition's probably going to finally have its Viking send-off it's been wanting against Sombra. But Attrition has really impressed me for its last stand, being on the show for 5 years. It makes Huge's absence look like baby stuff, really. As speaking of Huge, let's talk about that 30-pound class here. As we check the chat again real quick. Zoot! Yes, thank you. Fluffy Robotics, it's good to see you again. I do apologize, y'all, for my stream earlier. Absolute clown shoe stuff on my end, but hey, gotta figure it out at some point. Let's see here, talking about this 30-pound class. And we pretty much know our finalists. We have two fun robots in Plyo Hazard and Alternate Side. They both were silly machines. I love the spinning hammers on Plyo Hazard. Alternate Side was an absolute blast. It's a shame that that Carl Masterson cat fella had to literally sell everything for this matchup. You hate hearing these stories. You've heard a couple of them lately about people giving it all up for the sport. And it's just a bit disappointing, but Carl Masterson, hopefully we see this guy bounce back. Are we going back? We're going back live right now. So we're going to make this quick. We will talk about Robotica probably after our, wait, no, we have a little bit more time. I lied. Okay. So I'll make this quick. Our finalists, we do already know for this class are Toro Feather, Knockoff White, Phenomenon, and Death Charge. 4 very solid robots. I'm so excited to see all these robots go to the finals, and I'm very excited to see how the rest of this bracket is going to play out. Oh, it does look like Plyo Hazard forfeited the matchup, so it is going to be Death Charge and Phenomenon next. But with that, it looks like we have all 4 robots guaranteed for the finals and that. But let's look at that Robotica bracket heavyweight class real quick, because I have heard some crazy stuff like the fact that Overhaul is 3-0. Take away all the old BattleBots stuff we've seen. They have been cursed in BattleBots. 1 win in 2018. No wins, at least to our knowledge so far right now, in 2020. No wins in 2016 either. They were really having some trouble. 1 win against Chomp, who was winless in 2018. You know, Sadbot was like their last victory before this. But from what we've seen right here, deferred maintenance is what they're listed as. They took over Muzzy Fuzzy Malden's robot here in the first round, Avalanche. Then they beat Ryzen, the team coming out of California, hoping to get into BattleBots 2022 in the second round. In the third round, BattleBots rival Slammo, ControlBot versus ControlBot, 2 BattleBots worthy competitors there. Oh my god, I can't wait to see footage of that match. That's going to be a suplex battle for the ages right here. So it looks like that's where we're sitting right now in the heavyweight bracket. Pneumatic, though, has fought, and in fact, it has beat Tiger Plywood. Tiger Plywood, though, is 2-1 with victories over Piranha and Lil Pip Resurrected. This is such a strange bracket here. Hopping around, looking at more matches here. Piranha, 0-2 right now. Ryzen, 0-2 right now. Avalanche. Where is Avalanche? There we go. Avalanche 0-2. Oh, Avalanche is 1-1 right now. My apologies. They're taking on Ryzen next. I think that's going to be an easy match for Avalanche. Happy Catter, the BattleBots All-Star, Mad Catter. We've seen them with Martin Mason. Still don't know if Calvin Iba is there. We're going to look at the Robotica Discord here in a moment. But, okay. More highlights being shown. Just double checking that. We're going to be looking at that in a moment just to make sure we're all caught up and savvy on everything. But Lil Pip Resurrected did beat Happy Catter. We talked about that a little bit during our last quick stream. But they did manage to beat O'Reilly and Pneumatic, so they're back on the winning record with 2 rounds left to go. So eager to see how this is going to play out. We'll take a quick peek at that featherweight and other bracket. Looks like the featherweight bracket did finish. Squire, predictably 3-0 through the bracket. Looks like they're going to be the featherweight champion. Ooh, excuse me. Oh gosh, live burps. My apologies, live burps, everyone. So it looks like Squire, likely featherweight champion. You know, there was some talk about Amplifier, and there was some talk about... where's the other one? I guess maybe there was another pullout. I could have sworn there was a... Was it? Oh, well. So let's go back to the hobbyweight class. Not worry about that right now. I am so glad to hear that Warheart on XL and Pneumatic. We're back in the bracket. Warheart XL looking really good here. As a 4-0 right now when they have yet to fight Derpy. Like maybe Derpy's having some issues. On the flip end, Spiky Steven actually did beat Known Avenger. Maybe that was a forfeit. I would have liked to see how that matchup went. I'm surprised Spiky Steven has survived some of these matchups. Cannibal Mini. Also, oh wow, not undefeated. They've won every matchup except Known Avenger and Warheart XL, the 2 robots who you were probably going to be expecting to contend it. Known Avenger being a very solid plow bot, and Warheart XL being, what's this? Okay. Sorry, don't want to cut them off. And outside of that, right now, yeah, Warhard XL undefeated. Nona Avenger has lost to Spiky Steven, which is kind of interesting, and Warhard XL. Cannibal Mini has lost to Nona Avenger and Warhard XL. So that's where we're sitting. It looks like Warhard, a late entry. Well, not a late entry. They entered, they pulled out, and then they came back today, making a surprise appearance here. And it looks like they're the favorite to win the heavyweight class. We're going to be doing more to catch up on that and look at their beataweight class probably later on in the day. They're also going to be doing more action tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Sirs Fox. If oh man, if y'all can't see the bracket, I do apologize. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys. I am so sorry. But with that, we're still waiting on some news here from Norwalk Havoc. Still waiting for them to come back. So let's check out the Houston area Combat Robotics Discord, see maybe we can scatter up some more news about the Robotica events. We're still waiting on some info. Doesn't look like there's anything right now. David Brunette did lose his GoPro, so if you're at Robotica, please return that GoPro. Let's see here. Nope, nothing really so far in terms of Robotica news, which is a bit of a bummer. Nothing posted on either of the Discords. You hate to see it. Hopefully we do get some footage soon. In fact, let's go on YouTube real quick and see what we can find. Maybe we can dig up something. Let's look up Robotica Comic Palooza. I'm sure maybe somebody has posted something recently. Wow. Okay. Maybe not. Comic Palooza Robotica event. Hey, I know that guy. Alright, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any Robotica videos out just yet, which is a bit of a bummer. We will let's check a couple of our Discords here. Let's check NHRL's Discord. I know that usually the non-NHRL events has a pretty good buzz of a discussion going on. But just some pictures here. Look at the brand new data collector though. Well, I don't know if it's brand new. It looks like the plow's brand new. Pearl Gray always makes some amazing looking robots. Data collector here looks absolutely stunning. Can't wait to see you compete. Let's see what else we have going on here. There's the picture of Overhaul right now sitting at 3-0. Ah, it's loading a bit slow here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Calvin's not there. Do you know who happens to be driving then? I would guess it's probably Martin Mason. And Spiky Steven has been dead since the first fight. Oof. Why was it a double forfeit on why they had that one matchup during with the known Avenger one? Because it does seem weird that it does have him as a win, but it could also be a mistake. But yeah, here's Overhaul with little mini Overhaul here. I don't know if it competed or not. Ooh, you have to think so, but maybe not. Avalanche in the background. A couple of the people on the team here looks like some of the Malice people. I'm glad that the Malice people showed up. I don't know what robots they are with. Yeah, Malice. There's Charles Guan right there. There's a little Yeti dude back there. And it looks like we have a video of of course. Some dumpster fire buddy here. Iconic. You love to see it. Oh, here we go. A little bit of news there. Data collector beat Blender Pico in the news bracket, losers bracket. Lily with the trans rights robotics. They've been absolutely awesome during the whole TCC event day we've been having on the Stir channel. On the server. Not too many people, but we have had some discussion all day. Various team members coming in from NHRL coming in and talking about what they've been doing. But looks like we're going to be wrapping this stream up fairly soon. They're right now playing some ads, so I'd imagine probably at 5:30 they're going to be going back to the stream station. But let's see here if we got any more footage or pictures from this events going on right now at Norwalk. Then maybe we can do some last minute discussion about the brackets. We will have Ethan on later, but we were having some connection issues during the last stream, so we decided it would be better if I just went ahead and did this one solo. But I am going to be contacting probably Chaotic Robotics, Team Shredded, and Penguin Robotics for our late night stream tonight, and definitely for tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. I do apologize that we did have them on yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, earlier today. And just amateur moments. Looking at some of the damage here from Ramplan, nothing at all, really. Actually, I think this was after the first match, so not full damage updates, but what we have so far. The bot's been looking pretty good though. They haven't really worried about too many impacts in terms of bad damage. It's a sturdy robot. It's built to be a tank, and it's lived up to that so far. And talking about some solid robots here, Aloft Alexander coming from Virginia with Team Angry Archery. This guy just builds amazing stuff every time, doesn't he? I can't wait to see him try the 12-pound class, 30-pound class, or maybe even something bigger in the future. Because what Aloft and Outburst has is just absolutely amazing. 2-2 for Aloft so far. Let's actually look at what Outburst is doing. I don't know if there's... I think they're still in the winner's bracket, but I might be mistaken. Yeah, they beat Cutting Board. And, oh no, what? Cutting Board's beat Outburst? This is news to me. I haven't looked at the Cage 5 stream in a little bit, so maybe I missed this. But this would have had to just happen. Man. Alright, maybe I slept on Cutting Board a little bit before that first matchup. I saw it take on Crash Fest, and I thought, I don't know if this is it, Chief. But it has had some good pushing power. We'll have to see how this keeps on going. Here's the guy behind Manufacturer Recalled. It sucks that he got so much ire from Luke. I know he was just having fun. I am surprised that they let him go out there weaponless for the second match, but it wasn't a big deal. Solarplex pretty much took care of it easily. It is funny, we were talking about Solarplex during the Brazil video, and oh my goodness, probably one of the quickest fights today. Solarplex didn't stand a chance, but I am glad they redeemed themselves a little bit against Manufacturer Recalled. Very eager to see what comes next. Hopefully we see a bunch of these robots in the 12-pound, 30-pound class come back. Really upset that we got robbed of this Manufacturer Recalled and Mill Tank matchup. And let's see, what other topics can we get in here before we get out of here? And we'll probably catch you guys one more time tonight during the late night stream. Talking about Outburst, that's one of the notes I listed here. I was thinking about it today. I know it was mentioned during the NHRL commentary as well. We were one event away from missing out on Shifty versus Outburst. I mean, obviously, there'd be the chance that those robots wouldn't fight each other. Of course, it is a bracket. This ain't BattleBots. We're not picking the opponents here. But, man. I would absolutely love to see, it's like what Luke said, how Aaron Hill would do facing the 3-pound version of the robot that he pretty much originated, made good, made popular. You know, now we're seeing these other punchers open up in different classes and in virtual competitions too. Look at RR2, RBX, Robot Arena 2. You know, when a bot gets big like that, you know, we saw the same thing with Huge and Deep Six. It starts to spread. It's an influence. It's like a contagious sort of system, and it's not a bad thing. Talking about other things here, Busy Bee. Anna, I believe his name, Anna or Amy. I do apologize. I hate butchering names, but we know that she has her whole set of students coming along for this event. We've seen their bright yellow shirts all over the venue during this event, and it's good to see Busy Bee still in the winner's bracket, and Bugsby as well. You know, they were very wonky against Smeezes. Surprising victory for Smeezes there, but now Bugsby sitting potentially, maybe. Oh, never mind. Blue Cheese is already eliminated. My mistake. Now facing the defending champion Yobnal in a winner-go-home matchup. Two favorites right there, in fact, to win the whole thing. Bugsby a fan favorite. Yobnal a smart picking favorite. You know, if Yobnal is getting that spinner working, you're going to have to think it's going to be the favorite to take that. Bugsby has been very unsteady this event so far. It was pretty steady during that matchup it had against Alex Wang. I'll give it credit, but Alex Wang was also having some weapon issues of its own. Meanwhile, Blue Yobnal, they just straight up didn't get started. I mean, not Yobnal. Brain so farted after like 8 hours of this stuff. Not Blue Cheese, Bugsby in that match against Smeezes. You know, we were seeing some proper Mauler dances going on during the start of that match. Maybe it had something to do with the little bun cap it had, messing it up. Who knows, but that's where we sit right now. It seems, though, that Bugsby did fix the Mauler dance issues, fixed the cap crap, and looking fine right now. We're going to have to see how that Yobnaw matchup goes. But I do know one thing. Wait a minute. Looks like they're back. So let's get this wrapped up so far. We're going to be talking more about MRCA. I haven't been able to keep up with it too much. Their stream has been a bit inconsistent, a bit wonky. But I do want to talk about it. We do have the brackets and where they're going to be as we're about to get right back into the robot combat here at NHRL. So everyone take a breather, cook some food, kick back. It's time for some more robot fighting, and let's get to it. We'll see you later tonight here at the Combot Collective. I'm Sterling Brown, and I promise, I hopefully promise, that last stream was the last of the stream woes. We can have some guests on later tonight when the stream's cut off. I'm running so many streams in this house, it probably wasn't a hot idea to try running a stream with other people. But we're going good right now. We'll see you guys later on tonight. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.